Hi, this is Justin from Whiting Services Heating and Air Conditioning. Today we have a System 2000 boiler, and the customer called late last night. They said system shut off. They had no hot water, no heat, and it was reading a code. It was actually blinking 130 degrees, and in the book, 130-degree light flashing, excessive temperature condition, zones could not extract heat from boiler, check zone valves, heat exchanger, and boiler circulation, high limit aquastat not functioning, may not be functioning. So I did check my zone valves. I have the isolation shut off right now. Because I was cycling the boiler on and off to test it. It's pretty cold upstairs right now, so shut these off, and just been letting it heat the domestic tank. And we cycled all the way up to 190 and shut off twice now. It just shut off a few minutes ago, so it appears that the high limit's working. Aquastat seems to be okay, it's functioning, so I don't have an explanation yet as to why the boiler shut off and showed that code. It is getting up there in years, and these System 2000 controllers are known to have issues. One thing I did find was back here there is a power venter, as you can see up there, and there's the vent line coming from the boiler, and this power venter is not functional. The motor's not running at all. Supposed to be interlocked with this control, so it won't allow the boiler to run if the power venter's not running. However, somebody has bypassed this safety interlock, which is a big no-no. You never want to do that because it can lead to serious injury or death. If this power venter is not running and the boiler is, then you have no draft on your exhaust, and you'll have carbon monoxide leak, which we have right now. So this is going to need to get replaced. We're going to have to replace the power venter and interlock too. I don't know why it jumped out. Probably because it's broken. Guys come in and they say, "Oh, well, this safety's broken. I got to get these folks heat. Let me just jump it out," and then never actually replace the part. So or there could be something wrong with the System 2000 control, and they were forced to jump it out for some reason. No way to know just yet, but we have to replace that power venter, and then if there's still an issue with this control, then we'll end up having to replace this control. But really, they should replace this boiler, especially because it's a System 2000. These things are not reliable, in my opinion. I believe this is a conversion. They converted to they convert to gas, or is this still oil? Looks like it's still oil. Yeah, looks like we still got oil there. Thought this one was a gas, but no, I don't see any gas here. So looks like they're still running on oil. In any event, I'm going to go talk to the customer and fill them in on what's going on and see if we can get a new power venter in for them today. And that's about it. And we'll get back to you as soon as we can get the new parts. Okay guys, so I'm back, and I have my power vent and I have my control box, which is going to go up there. I pulled this apart a little bit already. Somebody came in and wired this box. They messed around with it. I guess at some point it failed. Probably that relay failed. And so what they did was they jumped out the signal that's supposed to go back and tell the boiler, hey, fan is running. They jumped that out, and they jumped out the signal to the fan. So they basically just put L1 straight to the fan, keep it online, and then the run signal for the burner, which is supposed to go through this relay, they jumped around it. So that way, essentially, they just rendered this safety control useless. Probably because it went bad, I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't know why they would do that and not just replace it. It's extremely dangerous to jump this out. This pressure switch monitors the negative pressure inside the vent line when this power venter is running. So if the power venter goes down at any time, pressure switch opens, shuts off the heater. That didn't happen when this fan motor died recently, and the heater just kept going, and I suspect this has been going on for a little while. They said they can't even remember the last time this power venter ran. So yeah, I have a new control box, a new power venter, so we're replacing them right now. I already disconnected some of the wires here. Disconnect this tube, pressure sensing tube. Now this is ready to come off the wall. I'm going to get my screw gun. Okay, here's my new one. Okay. So these have the option to go from 120 volt or 24 volt signal voltage. So we are 120 volt on the old one, so we're going to stick to that on the new one. Let's see. Pop a couple knockouts. we're ready to mount it back up. Okay. Okay. Not the way this was. I think this one was up top. Yeah, this one was up here. Like that. This guy was here. Now at this point, I think we're ready to pull our power venter out, and that's going to happen outside. I'm just going to disconnect in here. Let's see. That's it. Okay. It should come out. Pretty corroded. See if we can open it up a little. Oh yeah, man. That's in there real good. There we go. That knocked it loose. There we go. Now, it should just pull straight out. So we're gonna go outside. Should probably get some rubber gloves out of the truck. Alright, here's a new power vent. Of course, they stripped the hell out of them putting them in. Why wouldn't they? Is that the little square? Not the little square drive? I think it is. I think I got one of those. Can't tell. Damn it. Oh. Let's see if it'll wiggle loose. One looks a little different. A little bit longer here. I betcha I can change that. Yeah. So as you can see, this one's shorter, right? So I got a piece of 4-inch in the truck. I could just slap it on there and stick it, but let's see, it may be easier. It doesn't even work. I wonder if I got any 4-inch. If I do, it might be a little easier. So I didn't grab any 4-inch smoke pipe because I assumed this is going to be a straight swap. But as you can see, this one's shorter, right? So it's got a little extension piece on here. I'm going to see if I can reuse just that piece. Come on, baby. Really fighting me. Jeez, I'm really in there. What's holding it back? I don't know. This looks like it should pop off. It's double wall. Is that? I don't understand. Well, I may not have a choice but to go get some 4-inch duct. Maybe I got some 6-inch in there. Maybe I can. That ain't gonna work. Jeez. All right, I got some smoke pipe. What I'm going to do is just cut it so it's the same length as this guy, and then it should slide right in. About there. little bit more crimp on this. Okay. Oh, wait, wrong one. Right there. There we go. So, pretty close to the same length now. Smoke pipe inside should just fit right in. I will zip this guy in. I'm gonna need my gun and some screws. Okay. See if I can do this with a small wrench. These wrenches might be a little too big for what I'm trying to do here. Pretty tight. Yep. Now this guy, run it out. About the same length, yeah. Jeez. They don't give you much to work with. You might have to cut that end off there. I don't think, yeah, I'm gonna have cutting this end of pipe off. You can see it's all jacked up and bent. Can't really get the nut on there, so and cut it off to a fresh piece. this end look like? Might be doing the same thing there. Let's wait and see what happens downstairs. Come on. I can just hold it here. Yeah. Cool. Now we're going to try to send it on in. This has to get set. The other one wasn't really, this isn't really set over here. Is it? I got it. Looks like a little jammed, but it's like right about there. It's about where they have it on the old one. Pretty much wide open. But we'll do a draft check. And if we have to adjust it, I think we could get in there and do that from inside. Now, what I want to do is put some anchors in this wall and use that. The anchors. Yeah, I think I do. Looks like the yellow ones should work. For the most part. We'll be good. Probably these, yeah. Goes right through. All right. I need some bigger ones. How about these? Yeah. Size up. Is that gonna work there? It should. See if that's gonna work. Now we're just gonna stab this through. downstairs, see what it looks like. Might have to bend that tube. Yep. I'll pull this tube over a little bit. Now we should be able to send it home. Okay, it's 2. 3. 4. Now, I'll put some silicone, I'll put a bead of silicone around it after I'm done. So, we'll take some tools back down, we'll leave the rest of the mess, and we'll come back up and clean up when we're done. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now time to attach our tube. Let's attach our tube here. Looks like just like that. Trying to get it straight. There it goes. Alright, let's attach some wires now. Well, let's get this in first. Do that. Jammed on back there. Like jammed. Didn't come out easy, and it's not going in easy. It's like just jammed. I can't figure out what it's stuck on. I'm hitting something. Okay. Got that part in. Let's put the top. I think I see it. Fighting me the whole way. Maybe if I turn around my ladder. Found this rickety old ladder in the basement. I think it's right there. Let me get my flathead. He's not exactly at a 90, but still, there it is. There it goes. Yep, just had to give it a little love. All right. Now let's screw her in. Feels good. I'm going to spin our ladder back around. That ought to do it. Alright. Our pressure tube is connected. Our vent is connected. Time for electric. Somewhere be good. Okay. What do I got here? Need a ring. Oh. Need a BX connector. Gotta get a BX connector from the truck. Oh, nope, they give you one. Nice. They should, considering how expensive this thing is. My Annie short. Annie short. Definitely want to put these Annie shorts in every time you hook up an MC or a BX, because if you don't, it'll be coming back here. That vibration will eat right through the wire a lot of times, and cause a short. See it all the time. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's get this wiring done. Now, what we got is we got some ground wires. Might as well get them on a wire nut. Uh-oh. Lost my light. Okay. I got the light situation kind of sort of fixed.
Now what we got here is we got 3 grounds. And twist them together. Okay, pretty good. Okay, grounds are in. My screwdriver. Now, first things first, we got our line power. That's this guy. Hot, neutral. So we're going to land that on L1. Land the black one on L1. White one on neutral. Okay. Now, we have our wires coming from our fan. Hot and neutral. So, neutral wire is going to be in here with this neutral. And let's see. I'd like to maybe even wrap it around there, make it a little bit better. Sometimes it's tough when you're putting a solid and a stranded wire on the same terminal. A lot of times the stranded doesn't like to stay. Let's see if I can get this out far enough. Yep. Okay. So our neutral's coming over from the furnace. And then the fan is tied into the same neutral now. Hot from the fan is going to go to that terminal there, M1. Unlock. There we go. Everything looks pretty tight. Okay. Now, what we got left are these 3 wires, which are black, white, and black. Really, they can see they taped it. You see that tape on there? Usually means they're trying to say, hey, this is a hot, not a ground. So what it really is this is an oil burner. So this black would be the orange 120 volt on command from the ignition control. That orange would normally go out to the burner, transformer, fan, everything on the burner, orange, is supplying hot. So in this situation, it's going to come up here first, and it's going to hit T1, and then T2 is going to be this neutral wire. T3 is going to be hot out, going back on this black. So basically, this is just a switch. That way, if I just looked up and noticed that this popped off, so we're gonna have to work with that, see what happened. So as I was saying, hot comes over, goes through the control and back out to the burner. That way, if this fan fails, then operates this pressure switch will open and tell the relay, hey, open up, you know, cut power to the burner because we don't have a power burner anymore. So the last guys over here had jumped everything out so that that sequence would not happen. So when the power burner failed, boiler kept running, and dangerous situation. So we're gonna land T1. So our orange coming from the ignition control on the oil burner comes over here on black, and we're gonna slide that right up into T1. Okay, and then white is gonna go on T2. Now, this guy's our signal back to all of the burner components. It's the fan and pump motor, the transformer, solenoid, solenoid I think, solenoid's open separately from the control a lot of times. Yeah. Okay. That's in. Now, what happened here? Why didn't this work? This little plastic nut, I don't like it. Why don't they just give me the regular metal? Just sticking out like that. I feel like there should be a little ferrule there. Why isn't there? They didn't give me anything else in the bag. I guess that little plastic thing is supposed to be the ferrule. Let's try it again. I need to tighten it down a little bit of more torque. My Chinese. Find out what happened here. This thing looks like it wants to cross thread so easy. You know, you're screwing plastic onto metal, so that's it there. I mean, usually a little nut like this, they want you to just hand tight. They don't want you to put a wrench on there because it'll break because of the metal. I'm just gonna do that. It looks pretty tight now. Okay, let's make sure I get the cover on, and I think it should be okay. Okay. tough getting in there. I have to grab my little angle driver. Let's see. A little jiggle. It's like kind of need 3 hands here, you know? Went right there. Okay. Looks pretty good. Now it's time to see if we did a good job. Well, here's this thing running. Alright. Guess it's not going to be that easy. Alright, I'm going to read the book a little bit on startup procedure and then make sure I got everything right. And we'll try again. Okay, so I looked at my installation directions and everything I have hooked up is right. So I came over and looked at the System 2000 box where all the power is coming from, and I noticed the hot leg that's being fed up to our control. Not the on signal hot for the burner, but the actual hot leg that's always going to be on. It actually powers the fan. That was wired into a terminal. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a terminal in there that says IND aux, and looks like there's a hot, maybe there's 2 hots there, I'm not sure. There's 2 terminals, but it was basically when I turned the switch on, it would turn on power for a second and then shut it off. So not exactly sure why. But I moved it over to the next terminal over, which says transformer 2, I guess, so it can power a second transformer if necessary. And when I flip my switch, power actually stays on. So up here, I was getting the power to stay on, so that should turn my fan on. And then once the fan comes up and running, satisfies the pressure switch, it should turn on the burner at that point. So let's try it and see what happens. Yeah, this thing's not wired up like a standard oil burner. It's got the System 2000 box involved. So let's see what happens. Okay, fan's running. Fan's running, but boiler has not started. So let's see if our switch is made. It says that I can adjust the pressure switch, but sure we got plenty of draft at this point, but I'm going to check the draft just to make sure we're good in case I need to adjust that damper. But the damper is almost wide open, so we're getting all that we really can get right now. I don't know if this is a power there. Let's see. Now, what do we got back here? We don't have signal on power from the burner. Why not? You know, I'd like it to. It should only be running the fan if we have signal over here, I would think. Unless what I need to do is run it. Wondering if I can maybe power L1 from the same signal that's coming to T1. So essentially turns on the fan and then that work? No. We can't power that fan off the ignition cord there. And I see an adjustment screw for the fan up there too. So what am I doing wrong here? I don't really got any call for heat. I don't have a call for heat. Let me go upstairs and turn the thermostat on. That's probably what's going on. But I really would only like the fan to run when it's calling. I may... Let's see. If we look here, line, signal. I mean, it should really only run that fan. I don't want that fan running all the time, but let's see. Post-purge adjustment. Okay. So I think this is going to be good. We're going to pop this back on. I'm going to go turn on the thermostat and we'll see what happens. Oh, okay. Okay. So the fan just shut off. I did see in the manual it said when you first power up the fan, it's going to run for 10 minutes straight. So it looks like it did that. So now it's off. It should only come on when we get a signal to run at this point. So I'm going to go try to turn on the thermostat. So I got my signal to run, and okay, it started the fan. Boiler just fired up. So far so good. Let it run for a little bit. I'll go outside and seal up my flange, and then I think we're going to be okay. Don't like the look of that. I don't know what the deal is with that foam, but I'm not messing with it. It's pretty good. Sealed up pretty damn good. So make sure I get it real good. Perfect. Well, that'll do it for this one. Power venter is in, and they're back up and running. So I'm off to the next one, and thank you for watching. Give us a call for any residential or commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Thank you very much. Bye.